Yeah, 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 you can hear me? Can you hear me? Can you hear me now? Can you hear me now? Good evening, good evening, good evening to each and every one. Put up your headphone volume. Put your headphone volume. Yes, yes. Hey, hey, hey. Yeah. Yeah, 1, 2, 1, 2. Let me come, no, soft, very soft. Very soft. Hey, 2. Okay, I see why. Yes, how about now? Okay. Good evening, good morning, good night. My button wasn't on. I gotta get used to this position, okay, man. This mic, I gotta get used to it. I custom that mic over there. So yes, the Soualiga Grassroot movement is on. Folks, Facebook people, I see what's going on, right? My bad. Yeah, bye. But we got a beautiful evening. We got a beautiful evening for you. So that's why I'm so excited about tonight, because it's gonna be pretty. Tonight ain't gonna be lit. Tonight gonna be a pretty night. Yeah, beautiful night. So call up your friends, call up your loved one, call up your neighbors. Let them know that the Soualiga Grassroot movement, we are on. We are ready to push off. And yeah, you don't want to miss it, man. We're just on time, just about ready to go. Okay. We also got 2 Grassroot Queen in the house. We got Diane.
Good evening. Happy to be here with you.
And we got another Grassroot Queen over there. Grassroot Roslyn. Say hi to the camera.
Good evening, radio listeners, Facebook. Grassroot Roslyn in the house.
And also got the president in the building. Mr. Grassroot.
Yes. Good evening, Grassrooters, Swaligians, people of St. Martin. Look us here. We are back to do our thing. A simple mission, not complicated at all, but for some people they see it as a complication. For us it's not. Different St. Martin people. That's it. Boom, shot fired. It's not more complicated than that. We suggest to you and encourage you to tell your colleagues and friends and each and everyone that is interested in, that you could interest in listening to this program. And we know we have a substantial audience, but we need more. So you do your little part, bring your little pebble to the pile, and that is making sure that everyone listens to the Grassroot program, St. Martin People program in St. Martin. For those who's off island, you must make everybody off island listen, because it's their country. What we want to reach out to is to show love to and teach people how to love country, love self, and that's the mission that we are on. We're going to get a definition and we're going to roll, since the cards hold us down a little longer to this evening.
Yes. All right. Let's go with the motto. And it goes like this. Very simple and sweet and short. And it says, it does not require a majority to prevail, but rather an irate, tireless minority keen to set brush fires in people's minds. So right about now, we're going to set some brush fires. Set some brush fire. Pow, 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 pow. Brush fires in a place. And then the another one is, who's a Soualigan? Who's a St. Martin? This is the Grassroot definition of who's a Soualigan. A St. Martin is a person who can trace his or her roots from one or both parents in 1963 or before. These are blood relatives who cannot be separated by nationality or colonial borders. It's not about born here or born to be here. No, it's about blood, man. We are people of faith as a St. Martin people. We are people of love, St. Martin people again. And we are people of unity. Same set of people again, by beautiful people. And we will pursue the plan that God has for our life and this beautiful island, this paradise that everybody will want to come here and take from us. Well, not everybody, but especially the European them. And once we say so, it's so. God bless St. Martin. I want to start off by a thing happened to me there this afternoon. I met this young lady, right? This young lady, nice afro, dress nice, not too much of makeup. I say, bye, I gotta tell a girl something, bye. I say, sweetie, excuse me, man. I ain't rushing or nothing, right? I ain't making no play on you. But I gotta tell you, you're a beautiful black woman. I love how you look natural beauty. I think more black women should be like you. And she start to laugh, my son. She start to laugh, and when I see her laugh, I start to laugh too. I start laughing too. So when she finished laughing, she said, "Thank you." Okay. I say, "Yes, I really couldn't leave you go, not let you know that you're doing a very good job of being black." I just had to do it. I just had to do it because sometimes women, our queens, that go to the extent to look nice, and we don't let them know that they're looking good, So it's good to.
A great compliment.
Yeah. We need to do it sometimes. Even ladies should meet a lady and say, "Wow. You're looking good." But I ain't a lesbian, I ain't hitting on you. But you give a good compliment,
You can't be no lesbian, man.
No, I mean, I talk about ladies, when ladies do to ladies.
Okay.
No, I don't mind being a lesbian.
No. Hey, no. I don't think I understand that.
I understand neither. I understand neither.
We go to that. But I think I see where you want to go, and it's correct. But being a woman it's natural for her to want to be beautiful, so that's not the problem. The issue, don't call it a problem, and maybe I could also throw it in as a problem, is when they do not make their concentrate that beauty energy into ethnic beauty energy, meaning her beauty
yourself.
as a black woman.
Yeah, be yourself.
Of being self. And little does she know she's the mother of civilization. That every other race looks at her.
Yes, and wish to be her.
But in every way, when she loses focus of that, she end up fighting to want to look like everybody else but herself.
Yes.
So there lies the weakness in what is already a strength. It is strength. You look at the black woman and you not only see beauty, but you see that which made human beings. Don't forget that during slavery, the Caucasian actually would take their baby and make our mothers breastfeed them. So if we were less than human as far as they are concerned, why will you take your child and have her breastfeed on our mothers? So it's only for us to recognize that and know that once we begin to manifest, radiate that beauty that is ours, then the world would begin to question themselves. And I was on my way down. I don't know what I want to be. Is that Lowton Road, the road that leads into St. James? Okay, now you got Willa Woolland, and then the one that Willa Woolland heads to Mary, got another one here, so that Lowton Road. And they had the store, but interestingly, somewhere they had 2 wigs in the showcase. And I know they ain't speaking to the white woman, because the white woman typically, for the most part, don't wear wigs. It is a black woman that is belittling and showing up, how they say, letting down herself by doing that. But they had this 2-color tone, and what freaked me out, I watch it. Okay, I said, but look, like that's a 2-tone, light brown or blonde, light brown. And later in the day, I see a white woman with the same style. And I said, but come on. Yeah, no, but anyhow. So what I'm saying is no, well, the problem is not your Deutsche here. The point is we have to, like how you say you saw beauty in that woman. And but we are so into thinking that you got to be like somebody else to be beautiful. Yeah. And you are naturally the most beautiful woman on the face of the planet. So it's just that.
And you know what good about if we can pick up a habit of when a person is really looking nice, let them know they look nice. But it does build also their self-esteem.
Correct.
As a person, because maybe somebody leave from home, or whether the boyfriend or the husband, make them feel bad about themselves. But you doing that with them, they like, wow, somebody tell me I'm looking good.
Twist the subject and make it a subject, but I'll just jump out. But I think you heard me saying, there's this lady, when she walk in a white wall, meaning if you work in a real estate agency, you never, we don't own them, so. But this lady got this nappy, just normally at a word, but this nappy, kinky type of style always catch my attention when I see that. Which means I'm saying I'm comfortable with who I am.
Yes.
I'm not trying to go along and straighten my hair. I'm not trying to go along and not only is it straighten your hair, waste your money. And accept me for who I am.
Yeah.
That is where
my hair look like
where beauty begins. Accept you. And just because you accept yourself, the others will accept you and see the beauty in you by being yourself.
Yes.
And I think let's keep away from that because that's a wholesome conversation. And so yeah, big up to the sisters and who choose to resist the temptation and keep it real and be natural. And we become an example. They're saving money. That's the piece that hold me out.
It's just natural.
Yeah, they're saving money. The thing is if our women become strong, then our son becomes strong.
Yes, and our daughters become strong.
And naturally, it goes without saying that our daughters, but so if they are weak, then black civilization becomes weak. So we got a lot of work to do. But we know we just got one, how they say, they got this powers that say, grain de riz fait sac de riz, grain of rice make bags of rice. One by one. And so that's what we say. So what we want to do this evening is we going to look at 3 subjects, but cut it back and know maximum we get to do. We're going to just speculate a bit on the elections, what coming up, and we've seen a lot of maneuvers. So we just going to speculate and maybe send a signal because people is beginning to ask what Grassroot doing. We're going to review on the Cedric situation. We thought Freddie would have been here, but he's not. But we would do what I was not a eyewitness to exactly how it went down. I reached, of course, but it happened so quick and so fast that caught everyone by surprise. For the better, though. The part on our Black Hour story is we are going to deal, should we be going back to the motherland? Rather tricky, interesting, but we will see what. But it is just an outward manifestation of what's supposed to be an internal job. And so you can't tell me you're going back to the motherland and thinking that you should be going back with the kinky here because over there there's a disaster too. And they go also with the cream that attempts to tell. But anyhow, when somebody was saying, anytime you get a soap opera in Africa, everybody, a brown, light skin, long, flat hair. I mean,
long false hair.
Long false.
It's disgusting to look at a movie sometimes.
But they are European promoted or white promoted or Caucasian promoted program. We got work to do. We got work to do on ourselves. Well, let's go by the election and speculate a bit, and election is obviously less than a year. It's no long time.
February 22?
February, no, March.
March 22.
Minimum is March. So it's about a year out.
Around that area.
And we know things is already, I say heating up, but it's building. Let's put it that way. And everyone is making their maneuvers, hoping and wishing to be the killer team. And we just want to keep saying the reason why we ran last time is because there was a lack of unity. Everybody pulled in their own direction, and you cannot win an election that way. You only could win an election by organized properly. Everyone bring their piece. All of us want something. But if you do your own thing, you honor what you want. And that person will never get no vote at all. When we had election in the South, somebody run an election, even they won't vote, they didn't get it. So anything is possible, but the mode of election over so is what everyone fight for himself. Over here, it's more team.
Yeah, but it's not that the person didn't get didn't vote for themselves. It all depends on what district they're living in. They only could vote in their district.
Okay.
But when you come to vote in the other district now, if nobody then you vote for him, he ain't gonna vote at all because he don't live in that district. Let's say he live in St. Peter's. He only could vote in the St. Peter's area.
Okay.
But when they come in from Simpson Bay,
of course.
zero, pure zeros. When vote coming from
you get something still then.
No, I mean when they say he vote for himself, I mean they say he couldn't vote for himself in Simpson Bay because he don't live down there.
But he voted in St. Peter's then.
In St. Peter's, he can vote for himself, so he wouldn't turn out that he get no vote in St. Peter's.
But
he will get vote.
Why think they say somebody didn't get no vote at all?
He didn't get none at all. He gets zero.
Oh, that could be possible.
He vote for somebody else.
No man.
Oh yeah, he vote for somebody else, man.
He didn't vote for himself.
What?
He didn't vote for himself.
Yeah, I think I understand it as.
That's why.
I think the tease him like that, man.
No. It's
Here,
documented.
Okay.
So he gets zero vote?
He gets zero votes.
But it would be an embarrassment. Please don't call a person name. Please, it's bad enough to don't vote for yourself. But that is simply to say that it is how do we vision the election? And what we did last time was simple. And they say you are not I say exactly the proverbs, but things come to me. But essentially the moral of the story is that we were able to put together a team in less than 8 weeks, which is a feat in itself. But it was in reaction to demonstrate to the players that you cannot work against when a election coming individually as parties, and we had a lot of parties. You have to know what you want, especially when you're dealing with a machinery that is also working as a team. And sadly, it looks like it is about to happen again. That is the sad part. And we then chose to run just to make sure that the grassroots people have a voice. So it was a platform that we use to get out and say, well, then, in spite of whatever, there is a St. Martin, people in St. Martin. This time around, we don't need to run if we learn to work together as a team. Here's what we could suggest, and I'm sure they are listening because a lot of people want to know and obviously we are not supporting nobody. What we will do is work and be part of a project. So let it be clear for those out there who a support ain't gonna happen. What is need to be is that we would make sure that we is part of a team that gets the St. Martin agenda in there. That need to be said. Secondly, and we know if we go scattered, we can't win, but at least our voice is heard. Now we are getting speculation, but we could see what's the card. That we're hearing that the Haitian community want to put a team together. in a conversation today now, what I'm getting is that it is not only the Haitian community, but the Dominican community is working, those two communities want to work together to put a team together. So it began to become a rather interesting situation in that if we, the St. Martin people, the grassroots or the people of this island, cannot get our act together in thinking that I need to sit down in the president's seat and know that whoever is president, it doesn't matter. It means that we got the power and we could do and give this country or take it in a direction that we want to do it. All of us don't need to sit in the presidential seat. But I don't know what is in their mind, why they keep thinking that if I'm not president, nothing else worthwhile. That is what is most surprising. So to the big players out there, we call the name, we tell them, fellows, begin to get our act together. Work together. And working together, the grassroots will be on board and be part of that team and not followers, supporters, jumping on people's campaign lists and just sitting on the outside. It ain't going to happen. We will be part because we don't think no one can defend the St. Martin agenda like the grassroots. So we would be part of that project. And we ain't bringing up the rear. Go figure. And there lies the problem because of the way we think. Everybody's cooking the little conking, I want in up to number and this and that. We are not saying that, but what we are saying is if everybody else is organizing, and I need to mention the European community apparently is organizing to put the team together also. And naturally we got the president, or the orange team is positioning themselves also to come again. So it is foreign interest against St. Martin people interest. And when St. Martin people interest is at stake, we are still in the mode of running and thinking that we could or should do it alone. Can't be done, can't win that way. So we're going to call on them to get our act together. Stop being little boys. Be responsible. If we got 2-3 teams, how much team we had last election? We had Hope. We had who mustn't on them team name? MGC?
MGP.
MGP. Richardson was what? Something. Okay, so when we can't find the name, we are calling name.
Yeah, Richardson team.
Richardson.
Moksam team.
We got Moksam. And naturally you had a grassroots, but we keep explaining why we participated in the election.
And you had a winning team.
And then you had a winning team. But the point is everybody who was short of that 4, that was the lion in the room to be beat. Not because they were so strong, but it's because the Europeans decided to support them. So when are we to be surprised now when he's delivering everything they want to them? Is because who pays the piper calls the tune. I get you elected, I tell you what I need to do, what I want, and you can deliver. And the little handful of St. Martiners that vote for them, you're important because they know it's not a killer. And I saw in certain bureaus the avalanche of the votes, and you could have seen and read that every single one of them vote in one direction, orange. So it is a call to them. You have to work together. You can't win if you work it apart. And unfortunately, we are seeing signs that that's what they want to do again. And the Europeans are consolidating their voting power since Irma. They came back in greater numbers because they're rebuilding. The amount of money that was re-injected to rebuild the economy they come behind the money. And they stay, they come to work, they come to construct, they come to manage the money. You name it. and they are here, and they don't live between us. They live in these gated, secluded communities, so we do not get a feel of the population of these people. So if they choose to, whichever side they choose to be on is who's going to win, unless you come united. This is the message that we want to tell these guys.
But I think it is clear for all of those groups to understand that when you calculate all the votes them between after 5 parties, one win, which means 4 parties. You bring the 4 parties together and you calculate the votes they have. They will realize that they could have beat Daniel Gibbs' team. So it's rocket scientists that they need to go and calculate and see why they should come together if they want to win. It's simple maths. And I would go as far as to say this is their last chance for the Mossington, don't call their name.
Oh yeah, that's so much a term, but
the
this is the right one.
No, this is the last chance. The reason why I'm saying it's the last chance, the richest and all of them who want to be political leaders of St. Martin. After this period, the Haitians are going to be stronger, the Dominicans are going to be stronger, and the Europeans are going to be stronger. And none of them is with the St. Martin group. They are for themselves. Whether they pretend that they want to be with us, they could fool who they want, but they can't fool me. But once you're going to say you're going to make a Haitian political party, you're showing me that you are separate from me. I don't need nobody. You can't pretend that you want to be a St. Martin, no? And you're going to join with your own home people and create a party, which means you didn't come here to include yourself in St. Martin. You come to take over St. Martin.
That's right.
So, if them fellows, them like the Julot and the rest of them don't read those kind of play, they would never be leaders in this country again, because they can't be those people after that. Because even St. Martin people, some St. Martin people going to go and vote for the Haitians. That's how stupid we be. And maybe some of them will get frustrated and say, man, since you can't come together and vote for somebody too. And I know people who voted for Daniel last time, because they refused to come together, they decide to vote for Daniel if they want to come together. And that's what can happen again too. So I don't know why they're so hungry to get in power, and they preventing themselves from being in power.
Man, you're a philosopher tonight. You're large.
But I've born a long time.
Yeah, man. You're sitting
over 80 days.
Yes.
Yeah. Tonight I'm gonna say certain things will affect a lot of emotion to the same St. Martin team. What I'm gonna say is I'm serious to see that we St. Martin people has balls and guts to stand up and take a bold and brave stand to save this country. We cannot have people who's going to be slack leaders and go buying in anything. Because we lose in this country daily, and we have to understand, after we get in this position as St. Martin people, to put in place the system for the people who born St. Martin outside to stand up with we.
Mm-hmm.
We have to see that with our island, that we has our people from the southern side to stand up with us. Make sure the paper up to date. Make sure that they get part of what they need to get. Because everybody coming here, they come with an agenda. But we have to see the first agenda, that we come with unity. First agenda have to be among y'all. If thing on the unity, nothing could stand.
Yep. Because when you look at St. Martin, the majority of the people from the south side, which we call Dutch side,
yes,
have family members on the French side.
Yes.
And vice versa.
Yes.
People from the French side who have family members over there. So it's one people. That's why I just tell them, we are not a minority in St. Martin.
No way.
The separation of the cars between us, call us French and call us Dutch, separate us and make us feel like we're the minority, but we are not. When you bring all of us together, we are the majority. And plus, we are the only St. Martiners. So we're the majority of St. Martiners.
Yes.
They're going to call themselves some other thing, but they're in St. Martin, no? So we're the majority. So I am afraid of that. I am just afraid of the leadership where they're tossed for that position of being a president is getting so annoying to me for big men who can't see the bigger picture. St. Martin is bigger than you. St. Martin is more important than you. Where you feel you have to be the president, you don't have to be no president. There is seat for everything. They got whether you want to be and the seats of education, and the seats of culture, and the seats of medical. You know, everybody have their portfolio.
Be the president of culture.
Be the president of culture. Yeah. Be the president of sport.
Be the president of education.
Then
bring it up to the level it's supposed to be.
Then what we should do, create a new thing, St. Martin, everybody a president.
Everybody is a president. They just need to behave like it.
Yeah, since they want to be president. Okay, you're the president of the economy.
Yeah.
And then you're the president of the tourist office. You're the president of the sports.
Yeah.
So Allah is president now. Go on one damn group and make a thing work, man.
But I really think Grassroot take the sugar power. You begin to sound like him too, eh?
I think the chair is working.
You're costing a little mini bad.
Look at you get vexed when you're in this chair, man.
Yeah, man. All right, you're big up, guys.
Big up and take one time. Hold your seat, my brother.
Yeah, man. And tell you come again.
Tell you come back.
He's doing all right. He's recovering. He's doing some rehab now on his way back. So
yeah, he's doing good.
Yeah, man. He all right.
I don't think he want to come back right now.
No, you're feeling our movements.
Why you got some girlfriends? Got some girlfriend.
Let he come and tell us that, man. We can't put the man business on the street.
Well, you can hear how he talking. That life comfortable. You're comfortable up there, and that's good.
And Cesar take care of his own, man. That's okay.
Yeah.
The direction now you guys went is rather interesting, and it is true. Here's how it could be done. Now, observe what happens. The present team, the president, don't have no portfolio.
Exactly.
No.
But you is likely to think that he's powerless. It's not true. There were no delegation of power. Everything remains in his hand. So everyone else is a figurehead. Okay? It don't have to be that way. What could be done is these portfolio be given the delegation of power and the budget to go with it that makes them mini presidents. Okay? So if you's minister of sports, whatever the sport budget, that
fully responsibility.
That vice president is fully responsible with the means to sign without, I can say, go in a different direction, but without having to walk back in the president's office and have him sign it for it to take effect or for it to be financed or whatever to be. So that is the route to go. If everyone feel they need to be in there, you can get the delegation of power. Even in the on a normal employee job, the person who over État Civil does have delegation of power to sign for which makes that État Civil document valid, because they have the delegation of power to do it. Okay? So that could be a piece that could be negotiated quite early that says, like, look, if I was vice president or economy, you, Mr. President, please don't come over here and mess up my program for me, please.
Exactly.
And I could put a little sign, a little clause in there, authorize to cost the president. Well, okay, that's a little rough way to put it.
And you know, okay.
No, go through.
And you know, the thing about it is that they all know each other and they all speak to each other.
Yes.
It's not like in those big countries where You don't really get a bond with.
Socialize.
Yes. A little island of St. Martin, all of them know each other properly, so they should. Continue.
Oh, you don't got the power.
Okay, we got a call coming in.
Good night.
Hello, good night. Yeah,
Good night.
yeah.
It's just see. Hello. One thing I want to say again, and to make my people understand, and today we're going to see what Jassy talking about. It's a game they play with us. And see, since Mr. Albert gone, they send a letter for that governor, telling them no more politics. How come still have politics? And when they have a governor, they send a letter for. Listen to me, my brothers, to understand what it's making us and what game they're playing. That is a game and taking people for fool so long. I can understand 17 years, Mr. Albert, almost 17 years, Mr. Albert gone. And still be going in politics, still that government tolerating politics. When they send a letter for no more politics, it's time for brothers, if we want that country to get together, is to make them no more politics. We have to vote for nobody and tell that country and come the way it has to be. But brothers are talking tonight again, and who listen, and tomorrow we're going to see. I can't understand how they stop Richardson for changing the money, and they still got that politics and denying the right of that country. How come? That got to stop. So are you mind today, my brothers and sisters? Good night.
Yeah, we good?
If you take off that one, please.
Okay. Jesse, you didn't tell us what become of your court case, and we want to know how to turn out. We know that it was on the same day of the Cedric situation, but we know how to turn out. So tell us that. Remember, Jesse's a large one out there too. I remember one of the most interesting picture that I've seen for the shutdown was Jesse in Senegal. I don't know what angle they get that picture, but it wasn't in the paper, which I found rather interesting.
Front page?
Front page, but you got to see the situation, man. Just see them in front of the multitude or in the middle of the multitude, like, hey, look, I run things now. That's how the picture come out. Yeah, so that's what we want to say concerning the election, and I like the angle also that Grassroot went in to say, I have a problem with the Europeans organizing to go for election in St. Martin. I would also have a problem with a particular immigrant group telling themselves that they're going to run. They're organizing any immigrant group, yes. And it has absolutely nothing to do at this point now with black man or whatever to be. We're saying when you're in Rome, you do as the Roman. When you're in Rome, you respect the Roman. And organizing as a particular ethnic group because you think you could conquer enough vote is extremely disrespectful, no matter what quarters it come from. And in spite of the fact that we have said that we have added on an additional mission, which is black empowerment, on this conch, there is a distinction between black empowerment and respecting the grassroots people of St. Martin. And it is not an argument of not liking no one, but it is a fact that a mother likes her child first. Otherwise, civilization will not continue, because if you take care of your zone collectively, we take care of all. But your mission is to take care of your zone. And if this country is to go forward, the St. Martin people has to be the one to do it, and that everyone else should learn to respect these people in this country. So we cannot say that we are sitting on any concrete facts that says it is a fact, but we are beginning to hear things, and we would say, look, check yourself and respect yourself if it is true. And we would not take it nice with our other political parties lapping the tail for favors. Okay, so on this conch, we intend to save absolutely no one. So if we are critical, we are expecting the other local St. Martin parties
And
to be
people.
as firm as we are, and saying, and I could agree, you could love this country because this country has been great to a lot of people, and more so none than. But at the same time, you must know that you don't bite the hand that feeds you. You respect them even if you are tempted to do it, to be bold or to be disrespectful. And this can only be effective if us as grassroots people carry one voice and saying, I agree, you could be on a list. I got no problem with being on a list with any other set of people. I got absolutely no problem. I got a problem with them, however, telling them themselves that they want to be president for a whole team. Unacceptable behavior, and you ends up with the mindset that you enter. That happens. You have what in the south, in the north, you got Minister of Economy is a person who is not one of us. Then you will not have a politics that is based on the interests of this country. And if you get a particular ethnic group organized and they get in, what do you expect them to have? A pro-immigration policy? It goes like that. And the grassroots people would say, yes, we have been open, but we need to tighten things so that we maintain control. But if you get an ethnic, they're going to tell you, it belongs to everybody, and I was born to be here, and not the people of St. Martin is a St. Martin, and you are what you are. You don't choose your parents. You also don't choose where you're born. You don't choose what ethnicity you're born in. You don't choose what race you're born in. However, whatever you recuperate, you accept and you defend it.
But you know what I don't understand in those kind of situations? You leave your country, whatever country you leave, because things wasn't good up there. Because life was hard for you there. You come in my country, life seems to be a little better, you get a little better, get a little money, you get bold now. You want to say you're going into politics to run my country,
my business,
but you can't run yours.
But no, you don't want to go back and fix yours.
If you're so good of a politician, why don't go where you come from, go in politics there, and fix that political problem what making you to run and your other people like you run. Because what I believe will happen is that if you can't fix by you can't fix by me. Exactly. You're going to come here and make it just like where you come from.
Even worse.
Or maybe worse.
Because you don't reaping what you is supposed to. Now you want more.
Yeah.
The honest way to get it is to run in.
To go in politics.
And control.
And I find that's like...
That's like the state.
That's bold.
The state
you need
is
a slap.
responsible for that.
You need a slap.
But that's the state.
Because you got to realize there's a people named St. Martin people. This island named St. Martin. So it's St. Martin people who's supposed to run St. Martin. No, nobody else. Yeah. St. Kitts people run St. Kitts. Jamaican run Jamaica. I ain't going Jamaica to run Jamaica. What you gonna come by me to run me for? And I doing good. If I wasn't doing good, you wanna be here. Mm-hmm. You are here because I was doing a better job than you when you was back in your country. So go back in your country. If you feel like here ain't good enough, you know. All of a sudden, thing ain't good enough, you feel you can make it better.
But the whole I just tempered this by saying it is speculation for now. But we will be monitoring the situation closely, and indications are that that's the direction that.
But if it's a rumor, but we'll call it a rumor, that'll be true.
Well, exactly. But what particularly we are saying also, we will take our wrath out on the local politicians.
Yeah.
Yes.
They will hear from us back-belly inside for their complacency. So they better be on guard to know that the grassroots will take utter offense with their silence, hoping, thinking that they're going to get have the same argument or as the grassroots before. Have no one be able be bold enough to say, hey, I agree what you want to participate. I'm good with it. got a problem with you ethnically organizing oneself and telling me whom in my house, I'm going to Jamaica now, take it with H, and tell me you want to run my business. You're rooted in our culture. What makes me a St. Martin is because my grandmother and my grandfather and they on and on saw this country. By my understanding of who I am to what St. Martin made them. And how they say, they got a proverb that say, chien pas fait chat, dog don't make cats. And it means that, it simply means that if you don't have a St. Martin background, you can't become a St. Martin. Because nobody can tell you about the Margaret Hill. Nobody can tell you about whether Columbia agriculture, where people walk the street to go to St. Bay to sell food. Nobody can tell you that when our fishermen went such and such a way and they were lost and what was organized in the village to bring them back. That is what roots us and make us who we are. And we would be totally vexed. And that alone single-handedly would make us run in order just to get that message out. So the warning is not to those people. They are not the problem. The problem is us. The problem is us. And if the little gang that coupon votes mess up, the grassroots would organize to come. And this is not a threat. It's just simply putting the card on the table. I think that's basically the argument.
I got a serious point to address. Today, St. Martin has built back up after Irma. So the island have food for everyone to eat. But when Irma did pass, everybody did go and go. Nobody did see St. Martin. Because the pot was scraped and raked and finished.
Yeah, on them too.
Right? And then after now, we see clearly people taking bold stand, they want to come up with their party. And then they hiding it because they keep meeting, they planning, they got their agenda. And we as St. Martin people cannot sit back and let it happen. We call on young leaders to come out with all your parties, the young people, because y'all could do it. And you can do it. And call on, even if it's a women team got to take over that collectivity, it is possible.
Oh, you want pure women, no man, you...
But we are leaders.
Of course.
No, it's a women alone. That's a little problem there.
No.
Okay. Huh?
No.
Oh, okay then.
No, I say
Even.
Women have to form a team.
Okay, we good with it. All right.
Yeah.
So what we gonna do?
To do that, you have to go independent because the French chauvinist got a man, woman.
Bold, strong men too.
Okay.
Because if everybody come and sit in and be sitting with them.
Yeah. Well,
So we call on the young leaders too.
you got bold man, yeah. What? What do you mean who? You look at me, ask me who? You look, come on, walk. I can't talk for us, so that's a topic.
Self. We gonna roll again. Well, again, this just to set the ground. We see things. The pressure or tension is beginning. So it's just to get that out. And we will be coming back on it.
Yeah, we have to come.
We'll be coming back on this regularly, seeing the development that goes without saying. Well, let's go back to the Cedric piece a little before we go to our, should we be going back to the homeland? But it's in the context of Black history, and you would see when we get there. The Cedric situation, I guess we all know about it. They pitch out the case, which is good news. But we have to ask ourselves, why did they pitch out the case? But it was literal. I mean, usually when you understand or hear a case being pitched out, the court is calling, everyone sit down, the judge come out and he preside and he tell you this case did not even went into the courtroom, they just pitch it out by the door. Literally pitch out. You know, say it's not only pitch out, but in the literal sense, which confirms that they didn't have a case. And we made that argument. The argument that we made was that it was an attempt to get one to come for the rest. And if it did went down quietly, then if I get Cedric, then I come in for the next man-in-law, or 2 and 3. So once you gain confidence, you maybe you wouldn't call 1 this time, you call 3. You got to speed up things. And fool yourself not, these people, the new style of policing is the camera. And some of the time, even if they do not break up a situation, what they do is just come sufficiently with the camera, take pictures, and when they get back to headquarters, they try to identify every single face that they could find. So if we think that they don't know who all was out to our event, we are being naive and we fooling ourselves. They know exactly all who are where, all who do what. Whether they prosecute or not is because they choose not to prosecute. But it is not for lack of information that they don't have that permits them to say, I ain't coming for you. They know exactly who to come for, if they want to come for somebody. And so if you went at Cedric, and the fact that the point is that if you go at Cedric, it's obvious. You got to be joking a tree, and to use this term, a dead tree. But to tell me that you lose carbon, place shutdowns, difficulty in extortion, inconvenience for hours, community cut up in pieces. If you live in French Quarter, you can't get to Grand Cards, much less enter Margot, and vice versa. If you live in Margot, so they basically shut down the country, but at the same time make sure that the people don't get together. So that in itself tells you then that there were several demonstrations that ran independently. So you don't got any single human being there. So but at the same time, if you go for people in Senegal who was in a demonstration, you sealed off French Quarter, so then you got to do process for French Quarter too. Because nobody out of Senegal couldn't get to French Quarter with the utter difficulties. So why one man? And on which count you wanted to hold him?
A tree.
Okay,
a
dead tree.
And they kill him.
And you're holding him in a quartier that he don't live in. You know, so we want to say this. Look, if they picture that case, is because they smell trouble. That is one. 2, they really didn't have a case. 3, seeing the sanitary situation now in St. Martin, the world, in France in particular, which is a situation that is not getting better, I think that they did not have the guts to want to possibly engage an additional one. So they back off. But all road lead to Rome, so it doesn't matter. So congratulations to Cedric. They really didn't have nothing on him. I really think so. And if you had on him, you're supposed to have on everybody. Okay, you're supposed to have on everybody, and you shouldn't be pulling on one person. The other message in there is that we should continue the energy that says that if you touch one, you touch all, and that we will not permit either Cedric or nobody else for that matter, particularly on that issue of a closed down, to pick on any. And if this place, and I use the word now since they showed that they didn't have it, if this place didn't burn, if the capital Margot didn't burn, it is not because the gendarme protected it or the state did not protect it. It is the adults that were able to keep the young people in check. Margot was unprotected. Okay, the place was completely deserted. They pulled back. I don't know whether they pulled back in their caserne, whether I don't know. but they were not there. They were not there. So the honors goes to the people and not the government. And it is disgusting, irresponsible behavior, but they cut themselves all enough to say, you can't be going this week, you're looking for trouble. That's what we would say concerning that.
I want to clear the air a little bit for some people who maliciously or bad-mindedly wanted the case to go south so that Sidney could get locked up. Because I know they got fear them out there. The whole blockade on the 12th of December 2019 went down because there was a lot of St. Martin people after Hurricane Irma couldn't build back their house, and also expropriated from their land because they're living in Saint-Canpage Metrique, what they call it, or close to sea, close to the seashores, close to the waters, and that is too good for the St. Martin people. So what they were trying to do is take it away from them. Now a lot of people today, because of that shutdown, all of that was reversed. Okay? St. Martin people who could afford it get to build back their house. A lot of them get to keep their land and put on roof and whatever they could do because of that shutdown. So all of you who are there hoping that they lock up Sidney. First of all, it wasn't Sidney could do it. It was the St. Martin people do it. The brave ones, not the coward ones. The coward ones stay home. The brave one get up and decide they're not going to leave it happen. You understand? That's the reason why they was trying to find a way to stop the brave people from standing up, and they were starting with the choose one. They probably choose Cedric as the first one. And if they did get through with Cedric, they would have come for the rest of them, like what Grassroot was saying. Now, ladies and gentlemen, the reason why the system is doing that is because the system still got their plans. They still got their long-term plans of taking this country, this paradise. And when they start to take it, they don't want that stupidness to happen again. But are you going to lock down a place for three weeks and a month and that kind of thing? So this is what they're trying to break up.
Unity.
Yes. So now, if you St. Martin brave people who stand up last time, I got to come stronger now. Come stronger because we can see that it's working for us. It's not working for them, but it's working for us. So anytime they come up with a foolishness, we're going to come back again, and we got to defend each other. We have to stand up for each other because they are working together. So we have to do the same. We have to work together. They didn't condemn that young man is because they smell trouble. The young man started to make his wrongs on the media, and people started to hear about it, and the system get to realize that the people getting rolled up, and they tell themselves, we don't want no trouble with them people. No, they don't want to trouble these people because these people crazy. You understand? So it is working for us. Don't change it. The coward one go stay. Maybe someone might get a little brave next time. I hope I get brave because trust me, they're coming for you too. Even the coward one, they'll go with. Yeah, they'll go with the coward one too. So we have to continue doing what we're doing as a united St. Martin people. That's why in our definition of who's a St. Martiner, we say we got unity. These are the kind of things that we talk about. We got love for each other. That's in our definition. That's a St. Martiner. And a true Soualigan stand up for each other. So we got to send that message, just like what we did with the border. When we opened back the border, it was a group of brave St. Martin people who get up and do it. It is working for us, ladies and gentlemen. Do not change it. We got to teach our young ones now to come and be like us and even be stronger than us. You understand? Otherwise, Cedric probably would have been jailed today and they will be sweeping.
That ain't gonna happen.
Because the agenda is to take St. Martin people. It's not going to happen. It's not going to happen. If they go to one, they go with all.
That's right.
Yeah, they go to one, they go with all. We ain't doing nothing against the law. We're using our human rights. Defend yourself.
Yeah. And to add to that, we see the lion always surround the empire. And we as St. Martin, we have to be lion this country. To hold on, to grab what we has. Because if you touch one, you touch all. If you see, we didn't take firm stand and stand up, they would have invaded this country. Because it's like, they come, they see the goal by the beachfront for them to put a hotel in the restaurant. So the economy could turn in their favor.
Exactly.
But what we have to eat, what we have to live in one ghetto shacks, apartment,
Yeah,
we can't do it.
That's what they're building for us.
And then this had to change. And we have to keep this fight on and let them know we are St. Martiners, we're not accustomed to living in these apartments. We're accustomed to living in houses that is well built, and also we have a view to enjoy our beaches.
With our backyard so we could plant our peas and things.
All natural.
Yeah.
So when you were saying there's some mines that is not ripe, you know, to got some mango on the tree, green still.
Oh.
So they gotta get ripe. Some mine here gotta get ripe.
True.
When they get ripe, they're gonna have to do the right thing.
True that.
Because we can't be fighting for y'all and I enjoy the bar, because enjoying the beachfront and I is not a support. Y'all have to stay with the right mind. When you got the right mind, you do the right thing.
True.
You see, a lot of them ain't get ripe yet. The mango still green.
Still green.
So we have to continue to know this is our St. Martin. And if we don't stand up for it, they'll just come and sweep it, take it up from us, and then after we have no say in our own country.
Okay. We're going to go again, and we're going by Black Hour Story. We got an interesting angle this evening, and that is, should we be going back to the motherland? And I know those of us who have not taken the trip mentally, must be saying by now by these fellows on Grassroot, they're losing it. And in reality, far from that. If I put some context into it, there is a wind that is blowing in the African community where awakening is taking place, and black men and black women is beginning to realize more and more, even though the argument could be used, maybe not enough or not fast enough, but it is happening, that the predicament in which we find ourselves, we have to get out of it, and no one is not going to do it for us. And some of the time it is sold to us that somebody always is the one that gets us out of our situation. In the French context, they got shell share, a daughter good for nothing, white boy, privilege, and tell me that black he who we must give a holiday to shell share, and it has one in St. Martin on the 14th of July, the week after. They call it, mix it up with Grand Cross Fed, they call it shell share Fed. But who shall share? Shall share is not a descendant of God's chosen people, but he's a European who has benefited from the exploitation of the black man, and maybe not because your consciousness intrigue you mean that you freed me. We freed ourselves, and the black man has to begin to put himself, and don't leave out of ignorance, himself be led. We have survived because we stood up in whatever little way we can. So, during to speed up a bit, come forward to get where we're going, the George Floyd situation, what happened is you got this police killing, black man getting killed every minute in America by police killing you just because of the color of your skin. And not only, I must add, racism, but we talk in America. But don't think that we don't got racism in St. Martin. Don't think in the French context they don't have racism. Don't think in a Dutch context they don't have racism. In the Dutch context, you got what they call Zwarte Piet, some painting of white people painting themselves black as an insult to black man and making it look like it's just recreation. The Frenchman, you live in France and you basically, by the color of your skin, you end up in these little banlieues. Pretty much you can't get anywhere, so you end up in these little ghettos. Difficult one of the typical one is Clichy-sous-Bois, which is the area code is 93, the 93. For example, St. Martin is in 97. So these are zip codes. And each time you hear problems, it is always most 90%, 95% related to the 93 in France. But you got a little mix with the Arabs, and when you're a conscious black man, you don't think Arab is your brother. I got a problem with that. But anyhow, let me continue. And in the context of St. Martin, when you could go into certain businesses and they are 100% white employees, then you know you got racism in your face. I remember in one of the meetings with the prefect gone, and I threw it at her, and I said, "Man, in St. Martin, you got businesses that only has European." And she said, "Yeah, it is true, but I know I didn't learn her nothing." You know, but you didn't do nothing about it. Is it an accident that when you think about a gated community in St. Martin, it is 99.9%, if not 100% white? It is because it's racism. Black man then is beginning to realize slowly that the only place that is open to him is the homeland, the land of his ancestors. And the only way, anytime you got people trying to resist it because that person has a problem, don't point your hand at no one else, point it at yourself. I would read a quote from Malcolm X. We got a little quote on his position and on that. And wait, I ain't ready for the video. Let me get to the Malcolm piece, where he's attempting to explaining putting into context, and it goes like this: you can't hate the roots of the tree without ending up hating the tree. You can't hate your origin without ending up hating yourself. You can't hate the land, your motherland, the place that you came from. And we can't hate Africa without ending up hating ourselves. So if you got a problem hearing this program and saying, "I'm not an African," you sick. And seriously sick. Now the sweet news about it is what is dominating the social media is there is a going back to Africa movement, and we are not encouraging it if you are not ready, but it is part of the Black history discussion that we have engaged on, and particularly still in the month of February. So, and you tell me that Stevie Wonder can't see, you got to be joking with me. Stevie Wonder could see that Africa is the homeland. You see that he lied to us all these ages that he can't see. I mean that he work. And I think that is a great compliment as far as he is concerned. And in the context that he is saying, what he's actually saying is that he is going back to the homeland because he do not want, no matter how they try, you ain't getting the love that you work on. But let me don't talk for him. We're going to run the video. It's not long. It's just a couple minutes. And you would hear what the Stevie Wonder comments as far as
I'll give it to you. You can have it. Because I want to see this nation smile again. Oh. And I want to see it before I leave to travel to move to Ghana. Because I'm going to do that.
You're going to move permanently to Ghana?
I am.
You are? Why?
Because I don't want to see my children's children have to say, oh, please like me, please respect me, please know that I'm important, please value me. What kind of is that?
Yeah, so we got it. Here's Stevie Wonder, and that's large, because who don't know Stevie Wonder would live under a rock. Stevie Wonder was big in the 70s, in the 80s, and some of the greatest songs of music that you could put your hand on was written by Stevie Wonder. Now, Stevie Wonder is basically one of the big boys as far as that is concerned. But there is a quiet going back to Africa movement, because people are realizing that they are not accepted, even after hundreds of years of their descendants, their ancestors being used, creating riches in the hands of others, and they are still not accepted. So this is where, and this is the context that we are talking about. Now, there is the physical going back, but we are not talking to those who's not ready and say you got to go back. What we are saying, it is time to make the mental trip back to Africa, meaning accepting your Africanness, bringing back your accepting and going and seeking your African spirituality. It means that you learn your own history. It means that everything about you, the color of your skin, the characteristic of the African, that you begin to accept that on you. That is the trip, that's the return that we are preaching and calling on, and say that you can do that now. The rest will come. You can, and remember the argument that we made with the discovery that was made by a descendant of the African concerning COVID. Up to this day, we still in here or nothing. But one of the trips, but something that keep marking me about this person, this doctor, Dr. Joseph is not an African name. So in terms of also going back, in terms of readapting the African names, doing whatever you can do to glorify what is yours own. And this would all come into place. So we are not only talking about the physical, meaning physically, like how Stevie Wonder is saying, taking up himself and going back to live, but we are more preaching at this stage the spiritual, the mental return to African values. That then would help those that is hearing us more and more say Jesus did nothing for you. Is one of the trip that says return back spiritually to Africa and its values and its teaching. That's the trip that that's where we want to go.
Well, the trip to Africa for me though is getting on a plane and going there. and living it. I was just looking at a video today with this fellow from Detroit. I think the Detroit he's from some part of the States, where he moved back to Africa, and man, he decided if he didn't know that Africa was so nice, he'd have moved there like 20 years ago. But how did it promote Africa make you don't want to go, make you feel like it's such a bad place? He said he lived in the States all his life. He's in his 30s now, young fella, And he say, back in the States, when you're walking the street, you will say good morning, good afternoon, and in the States, people don't answer you back. But in Africa, everybody like glad for you to hear them and want to make friends. It's some of the most friendliest people in the world. But he didn't say which part of Africa he was. And the man just made me feel like I should have been he. Just should have been me or I didn't. But we have to realize that what they taught us, what the system, what is European, what is school tell us about Africa and about ourselves, everything was a lie. Every single thing was to make it look as worse as possible for us not to like ourselves, for us not to like our homeland. Now it is age for us to wise up and realize that we have to reverse the lies. We have to see it for ourselves. We have to do it for ourselves. Stop thinking about what they tell you. Nothing was true. Nothing, absolutely nothing. Are you going back to Africa? Oh, you could better.
But they have maybe if you give me the art, I got to hunt it down. But there's this song, I remember when Rasta was strong, they had a song, there's a land that I have heard about so far across the sea. I don't know who wrote it. But I'm almost going to knock a lyrics by. So far across the sea. Third world. Okay. There's a land so far across the sea. Grassroot singing tonight. Take that.
Third world.
Okay. But I have made the spiritual trip back to my ancestors. That's why you could hear me being so firm and saying, I'm not in no Jesus business. And to encourage. But am I ready to say I got to go back? Not only at this stage for me, but for my ancestors who have successively died in the diaspora. And one of their ascendant, meaning those that is living, will be going back in their name and kiss the ground and say, your son has come back.
Mama, I'm back.
In the name of your children that has made the trip of no return, inflicted on them by some other race, with a Bible in the hand. And a mission executed with a Bible and some deity they call Jesus Christ. And if you also got a problem hearing that, then you're still sick. And we know the Christian community really must have rolled enough and say, boy, somebody not tell me, but if your mother could only hear me now. But I know where my mother stay now, she's able to say, son, you are right.
You're on the right track, son.
Okay? That's the argument or the point that need to be made. They also have this proverbs, when you read, study a lot, you come across all things. They had this one that used to say, see London and die. Well, London could burn for me.
See Paris and die.
Okay? See Paris and die. Well, Paris could burn for me as a descendant of the Africans, of the Kemet, of the Nubians. But I say, see the land of my ancestors, then I could die. And that's when I know spiritually I have reached. And this is what we want to encourage. So it's not an attempt to tell everybody go and go buy a ticket and say that it is a mental trip that needs to be made. And one of the essential components of it is you cannot adapt or continue holding on to the European God and tell me you're going to get the job done. Anything that teaches us to forgive those that has done so much to us tells me then that cannot be a good religion. It is not a teaching. It is not a logical teaching. It permits those that has done wrong to us feel that they don't have to pay reparation.
That's right.
And we need reparation. The millions of man hours. And I was listening to a video, and it's so interesting, but it's in French, and today, and it goes like this: a psychopath. The psychopath problem is that he thinks he's superior to everyone else. Tell me what race think that they are better than someone else.
White race.
Okay? And that type of inhumanity inflicted against another human being could only be executed by a psychopath. And that's basically the moral of the story here. So this probably would help us understand, those of us, and we must add that not the whole grassroots has returned spiritually, psychologically. There is still some resistance when we think about grassroots. Freddie, who don't want us to put on that book. But we have chosen the path of saying that we would do what we can do to encourage those and bring the message to the Africans that they have a job to do. And it can be expressed in many forms. And if Stevie Wonder can see that is the root. Hear what I'm saying? I mean, everybody has a blowing Stevie Wonder. He ain't blowing for true. The guy can see.
He said.
Yeah, he could see that the motherland is not where he's walking. The motherland is where his descendant came.
Ghana.
But he chose Ghana, and everybody got a lightning. Somebody, not somebody.
He said he won't go Ghana.
And observe what could happen is each and every one of us, for the little we hear, can end up saying, I think I like this particular country. Stevie Wonder love Ghana. I feel I need to go to Benin. Others might feel, just from listening, you hear about Nigeria, a land of scamps. But that's just a joke. That's my boy. That's my people. So I ain't throw them away. So nobody don't think I knocking down Nigerians. But we know they're good. They're large. Watch out.
How I think it should be, how I would do it, how I'm going to do with it. I'm going to go there, spend some time, feel out, spend like a month in this area, a month in that area, some time in that
it's
area.
It's a massive country, the biggest continent in the world.
Yeah. But
then you can't get it. Oh, you do a year what?
When I gonna feel me.
Okay then. Right.
I gonna feel me when I hit the ground, because I gonna be walking barefoot too.
Well, the vibration got to pass.
Yes.
The vibration got to pass.
Yes, so I will know when the right place is for me, according to the environment. You're gonna feel it, you know.
Of course.
And I know I will be in one with the land, because it's me. I'm African. I was proud to be African. I was proud to be who I am. Never tried to be the other. So it's gonna fall in place, man. Right now, a lot of Jamaicans and Trinidad people are moving back to Africa.
And St. Thomas.
So, yeah. So, Tomians, right? Yeah, man. People,
but we must,
the consciousness is raising.
We must
fast.
understand, and I don't remember which country, but there is a certain energy that is taking place where there are certain. What's this one there too that the Americans had went in and grabbed for the slaves? one of those countries. When to come to my tongue, I can get. But there is a series of countries that are wide open to the return of the Africans of the diaspora, that have put in place a certain structure that is that is making it possible to set up and go back. Justice cannot come, and we are here in the land of the Americans, meaning the what they call it Amerindians, but the true American is those people that they kill out. We defend this because this is where we were born, but for the most part, the claim that we have as a people is back in Nubia, Kemet, Africa, Albukila land, whatever we want to call it. All is one and the same.
And when I go in America, no slave master name. I don't change the name already. No.
You don't find your name.
Yeah.
Okay, so then.
I ain't going to with a slave master name.
I
But
didn't hear your name.
I ain't ready to publish it. Because other people might take it.
Yeah, okay then. But
African name.
Once we can put in place, have enough information, we can begin to share, because there's movements out there that we are in contact with that can help. But one of the quick projects is the outward expression, which is the name change. But I think the effectiveness of it is that it has to be an internal project first. You got to be conscious of it. You cannot put yourself into question. And in terms of your beauty, your characteristic of who you are, that you watch television and then when you don't watch your hand and tell yourself that's what is beauty and this is not, or whatever to be. So until you do that, then for me these are stages that is down the road. So the name change, the visiting of the homeland, are all stages to come. But the quicker step, is learning your history, rejecting foreign religion, adapting or reconnecting with your African spirituality, and then everything else will fall in place. When you go to Africa, then you could know then that you are coming home as a son
of the soil.
And not coming there as a tourist from France or from Holland, whether you are thinking that you're better than they, and they live this way and you better off, or whatever. So if you got that type of mindset, which is an alienated mind, and still into what we call the Abrahamic religion, Judaism, Muslim and Christianity, then you ain't ready. You are not ready to make an effective trip back, at least to touch the soil and in the name of your ancestors, because they were not able to do it. So,
but the stupid thing about that though is the European gone over there and brainwashed. They too now. They right now a lot of them kind of European names now too. And it is so foolish when you're gonna walk in a room as a black man, call yourself a white man name. You know,
Dr. Joseph.
Yeah, I got Jean-Louis. When a white man look at you, it's like, that's another slave. But if you call yourself an African name, he gonna, respect. He gonna respect you, because he gonna see that there gotta be a conscious one. He can't the slave master name at all. So we need to get out of the slave master name. But like Ora said, you got to be ready for it and be conscious of the fact of why you're doing it. And I'm getting there, man. I'm getting there.
Yes.
And I heard also that it's not really expensive to change your name. They make us feel like it's very expensive. They're going to cost a lot of money to change your name. But it's not true. If you really ready for it, it can happen. So...
okay.
So I would advise us to start getting conscious, be yourself, and that's gonna speed us up as a people from being subject to the system, subject to the white man. Stop being his slave, stop being his stepping stool. Because it's too long now that in this day and age that we still living under the white man rules and regulation and not knowing who we are. Get out of that. We got to get out of that. And the faster we get out as black people is the better for us.
Yes.
Get out, man.
And well, I must say it, and I understand. I remember in the social media and observe well. Later, I always keep mentioning the social media because there were a lot of the information come. Mainstream media, you want to hear about European this and that.
Yeah.
If you get anything in mainstream media about Africa, there's always a coup d'etat. It's always about capturing of children,
yes.
Of famine, and nothing positive about Africa that is presented to us in the Occidental world. But if you so in the social media, there is where a lot of information flows, and I'm players and everybody's WhatsApp and some of the time there's so much information that we would not have gotten our hand on if it was not
for social media.
Yeah. Because it permits information to circulate, it permits you to learn a lot about yourself, about Africa from a different perspective than what we learn. But that is to say that there is so much positive energy, there's so much positive ingenuity, so much brilliance on that continent, but you would never hear about it because they don't want you to know about it. What they want you to do is have a negative image. But in return, they goes over there, live like kings and queens on these massive swath of land, yet today, and protected by their government to continue the exploitation. And the only place that we will be able to make an effective contribution is back home, and not in somebody else's land where he would never let you be anything of consequence home by he. So let's do it. Start spiritually. Start learning who you are. And some of the greatness that is about our history, everything that we think we hear about, that is bragged about, that was discovered about, in reality is basically African. Mm-hmm. But they just copy it. And can you think if the Caucasian goes around thinking that he has been so great, but he gone all in the Middle East to take up Jesus to tell you that what it didn't happen in Europe, you don't know. But they went take up Jesus and hand him to us. But he didn't tell you that he's a European. He happened somewhere in white collar. What they do is they just paint everything white and tell you that that's what it is. So we just would have to know that we come from greatness. Every people jealous us. But the thing about it is we hate ourselves when you are not conscious.
The make us hate us.
Yes. So get to know yourself, and only proudness could come out of it.
But the consciousness is growing so fast right now, eh? But only when you're looking for it, you will see it. When you're interested in it. Right now, Martin Luther King's daughter and Malcolm X's daughter, they're big women now. They tag up together right now, and they start to speak out. So it just show you a new generation of those leaders, offspring, is coming in the forefront now. So this is so beautiful, and they're working together and like sisters. Yeah, man. And when I learned that, it's a beauty, man. It's a beauty to see how much things are happening with the black race today, and with the black people. How we are really
growing.
We are growing. Yes, we are growing, and it's happening. is happening.
So get on train. All those who's in doubt, get on the train. The train don't leave the station, but it's too late to jump on and be part of Dogoton in many farms. So that's basically today's version. We probably gonna go 1 or 2 more before the end of February, and then we can continue how we usually continue. So it's not that we are stopping; it's just that, and like I say, we could do just like the easy one. This one invented that, and that one do this. We will not do that one. What we are going to do is the psychological part of Black consciousness, and which is is the mind part that will make the massive change, the big change, and anytime you find yourself showing your teeth in front of the Caucasian because you still got a problem. You look for approval. But when you're conscious, you strip your back to straighten up. And when you're conscious, you know that you come from greatness. So I don't need to think that this one is better than me or whatever to be. So that's what we are saying as far as that is concerned for today's session. So we really get in with 3 sessions this time.
You burn out time?
Yeah, we burn with time.
Okay, so that's how we're going to close it up. Folks, we want to thank you for being a part of the program today. Hope you enjoyed it, like how we enjoy bringing it for you. We're going to be back here again on Wednesday, God's willing, from 5 in the afternoon, 5 until 7. We're going to be back here with you, okay? So, yes, until then, we're going to leave you here with, what song you got queued up?
Mama.
Mama Africa?
No, Lino first.
Okay. Mr. Lino Hughes gonna hit you.
With the sunshine that comes out in the morning.